Howl's Moving Castle is another Studio Ghibli movie. When I say that, I mean another masterpiece of visual storytelling with incredible visuals, uniquely creative characters, and storylines that take you on a genuine adventure. There's really nothing else to say about it other than it's really, really beautiful. I mean, look at any frame of this movie. It is the work of hundreds, if not thousands, of talented people working together to craft something that is the peak of its genre. It's hard to find fault with Ghibli movies, as they tend to fall into their own category of movie, rising above traditional anime tropes and even creating some of its own that become the quintessential Ghibli. A character is taken away from their home and thrown into a different world entirely and have to figure out what is going on, how to achieve this goal they have, often revolving around fixing a thing that has happened to them, and we as the audience have to learn to cope with this ever-changing landscape alongside the protagonist. This movie takes place in a world where warring nations create a background to a wizard fight. Our main character, Sophie, is an unhot girl working in a hat shop, which, I mean, come on, look at her, she's adorable. I don't know what they're talking about, but this was a book, so maybe she was uglier in the book. I don't know. Cute, not hot girl is wrapped up in a political wizard debacle one day, cursed with a spell that makes her old, and then journeys to find a way to break her curse by living with Howl in his moving castle, posing as the house cleaner. I actually really liked this sequence, as it reminded me of Power Wash Simulator, and I hope that Power Wash Simulator watches this and maybe thinks, hey, let's do a Studio Ghibli collab, and we'd be able to power wash this castle ourselves. So someone, please tell Power Wash Simulator to do this. Hashtag Power Wash Ghibli. Sorry. Let's go back to the movie. A strange journey unfolds as we follow Sophie on her quest to cure her old lady curse. This takes her to the nation's capital, where she helps discover a plot from the royal family to unmake all the wizards in order to help find this missing prince, who turns out to have been in the movie the whole time. I don't know, but by the end, the whole thing revolves around getting and giving hearts to each other to help break curses. It's super fantastical and romantic and has this momentum that sweeps you up in it, and kind of like a ride. Like, you just get on the ride and relax. Okay? Just get on. It's a whimsical tale full of insane set pieces and magic lore, and one of the problems that comes from that while watching is this sense of, what the hell is going on? As one scene perfectly blends into another. You are introduced to numerous characters, which is a trope of Ghibli movies as well, and there is this motif of family being made, but it's a bit underdeveloped, as staying with each other in a house for a week doesn't really mean you're family, but whatever, there's only so much time to put this story together, so some emotional arcs get tossed in there in a broad stroke, and family is a broad enough term that anyone can relate to it. No pun intended. Plus, I've been in some Discord groups that get really clingy like that, and it's sort of cringe, calling each other family. We are blown away by this barrage of immaculate visuals with perfect sound and voice acting. It's like listening to a long speech about a subject you have no background in. You go from statement to statement, not fully grasping what's being said, but you get the feeling there's some deeper meaning to it, but you won't really get it until you listen to it all. While this movie is incredibly entertaining the whole time, thanks to its great music and animation, it's hard to watch the first time without being completely unsure of what you're absorbing. It requires some kind of discourse to understand it, whether it's reading up on the history of the story or listening to others talk about what they think happened. It could be a fun part of the experience to some, but to others looking to understand things for themselves as they experience them could be a burden. Great art is typically layered like this, and understanding requires work. Peeling those layers back reveal truths, and those truths connect to emotions, and those emotions endear us to what we remember from the movie. For all of its confusion and wanderlust, Howl's Moving Castle is another example of how masterfully crafted visual storytelling can move us. It can move our minds in a way, but perhaps more deeply our souls, which compels us to continue watching something we don't understand, hoping to reveal some purpose to it all. It's either that, or the colors are so perfect it doesn't matter if you understand it or not, it's just nice to look at. I don't really know. You have to watch it yourself and find out, but what do you think? Did you understand this? Did you feel something when you watched it? What are your favorite Ghibli movies? Let me know in the comments below, and if you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe, and I'll make more of them. You can also tell me movies you'd like to hear an analysis of, and I'll be sure to cover them like this. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one.